They've a bit dodgy patch of form. So, yeah, welcome everyone to this RS Media live stream. Leicester against Chelsea. A bit dodgy patch of form, so should be a good one. Chelsea need a win, don't they? Let's be honest. They really need a win. I mean, Lampard's under pressure. I think if he doesn't grab a win here, I think because they should be a lot higher up with the money they spent in the summer. Chelsea, there's pressure on them really to perform and to get the points that they should be getting, but hasn't happened in the last few weeks. Had a bad festive period. It's kind of continued into 2021 as well. Players underperforming, new signings not really settling in. So yeah, not been an ideal time for them. I'll run you through the teams first of all. This is the Leicester side, unchanged from their last match. In goal, number 1, Kasper Schmeichel. Number 27, Castagna. 3, Fofana. 6, Johnny Evans. 2, James Justin. 25, Wilfred Ndidi. Number 8, Yuri Tielemans. Number 11, Mark Albrighton. Number 15, Harvey Barnes. Number 10, James Maddison. And number 9, Jamie Vardy. Will he be having a party tonight? We wonder. You wouldn't put it past him, would you? Great goal scorer is Vardy. On the bench for the Foxes, Ward, Pereira, Soyuncu, Thomas, Chowdhury, Amati, Perez, Under, and Kelechi Iheanacho. So that's Leicester's squad for this evening. Strong side, as I said, unchanged from last time out, and they'll be looking for a big 3 points here today. For Chelsea then, the away side, in goal number 16, Mendy. 24, Reece James. Number 6, Thiago Silva. Number 2, Rudiger. Number 21, Ben Chilwell, up against his former club, of course. Number 29, Kai Havertz. Number 17, Mateo Kovacic. Number 19, Mason Mount. Number 20, Callum Hudson-Odoi. Number 10, Christian Pulisic. Number 9, Tammy Abraham. On the bench for Leicester, for Chelsea, Kepa, Christensen, Emerson, Zuma, Billy Gilmore, Azpilicueta, Jorginho, Hakim Ziyech, and Timo Werner. So Werner has been dropped, not been on good form, has he? Let's be honest. Not scored enough goals, missing easy chances. Just really short on confidence, isn't he? And this won't do his confidence any good either, being dropped for this game. Maybe he can come off the bench and nick a goal. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that's the team that Frank Lampard has gone with to try and get a win here at the King Power. Would be a massive win for Chelsea in what is a difficult game. And yeah, we'll have to see. The last meeting between these sides was in the FA Cup quarter-finals, actually, back in June of last year, June 2020, FA Cup quarter-finals. And Chelsea won that 1-0 at the King Power Stadium. Ross Barkley with that goal. Last meeting between the sides in the Premier League came back in February 2020. Leicester 2, Chelsea 2. Barnes and, funnily enough, Chilwell, who now plays for Chelsea, he scored in the last Premier League meeting between these sides for Leicester. And for Chelsea in that game, Antonio Rudiger got both goals. He starts again tonight. Can he find the score sheet again? We'll have to wait and see. Lampard just getting interviewed now as we speak on Sky Sports. Yeah, has the potential. I'm not saying it will be, because there's been a few games this season that you expect to be good and they've ended up boring 0-0s, but this has the potential to be a very, very good game. High scoring end to end. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, defensively, that'll be key for Chelsea, I think, today, to try and keep out the danger men of Leicester. Tielemans, Barnes, Maddison, Vardy, they really are. Really built a good squad over the years, Leicester City, and Brendan Rodgers done a great job. Absolutely fantastic job, in fact, for the Foxes. Leicester City in third place at the moment. They've played 18, won 11, drawn 2, lost 5. They've got a points tally of 35 and a plus 12 goal difference. So sitting very nicely in the league table. Chelsea in 8th place, not where they would have wanted to be at this stage. They've also played 18, won 8, drawn 5, lost 5. So they're 29 points, plus 12 goal difference as well. So 6 points separate the teams. Will it stay that way after this game? Could Leicester move 9 ahead of Chelsea? Or could Chelsea halve the gap to 3 points? As I said, a big game for both sides. You'd probably say more so for Chelsea in the circumstances they've been in and their kind of run of form that they've been in. But it's a big game for both. Both will be desperate for that victory. A win for Leicester will take them top of the table tonight. So that's something. They would have played a game more than Man United and 2 games more than Man City. But a win for Leicester will take them on to 38 points. And that will put them 1 point clear at the top of the Premier League, which at almost the halfway stage is a great achievement for Brendan Rodgers' men. A win for Chelsea, well, that can take them up a couple of places, back above West Ham, who just beat West Brom 2-1. That game finished not too long ago. It would take them above West Ham and above Everton on goal difference. Everton will have a couple of games in hand after Chelsea's game tonight, but for now, Chelsea can move up to 6th place, just a couple of points off the top 4. So it is a big game for both sides. Tough one to call. I think probably on form you'd have to give Leicester the edge, I think, but I don't know. This season's already sprung a fair few surprises, hasn't it? So we will see. The head-to-head does not look good. Sky, I've just brought up this graphic. Head-to-head this season, Premier League games between Chelsea and the current top 4. Chelsea have played 5, won 0, drawn 2, lost 3. So just the 2 points from those 5 games is the worst return out of all the sides currently in the top 6 and Chelsea themselves. So something they need to improve on, Chelsea, is getting results against those teams near the top of the table if they are to kind of, if you want, fulfill their potential and do what was asked of Abramovich, really, by spending all that money in the summer. He would have been expecting big things. Hasn't happened so far. A few good performances, but generally, especially recently, the form has not been good at all. A few stats to go through then as we count down to kick off, about 7 minutes away, 8:15 kick-off. Leicester without a win in their previous 4 home Premier League matches. They started the season very well at home. The last 4 Premier League matches have not been good for them, really. Drawn 2, lost 2. So they'll be wanting to put that right and end that run this evening. They are unbeaten, Leicester, though, in their last 5 Premier League meetings with Chelsea. Well, they have only won 1 of those, but 1-1, drawn 4 of the last 5. And that was after losing 9 of their 11 meetings with the Blues prior to that run. So definitely in recent years have been a lot better against Chelsea. Fortunes have been in their favour. And we'll see if they can continue that run tonight. Jamie Vardy there warming up. Of course, has a great record against teams in the so-called traditional Big Six, shall we say. You wouldn't put it past him adding to his goal tally tonight. Chelsea have lost just 1 of their last 8 away league games. Fairly impressive stat against Leicester. 1-5, drawn 2. So they have a very good record, Chelsea, at the King Power Stadium. They're also unbeaten in their last 4 visits to the King Power since a 2-1 loss all the way back in December 2015. So a good last 5 or 6 years for Chelsea away to Leicester. Continuing with the stats then, Leicester have lost only 1 of their last 7 Premier League games on a Tuesday. So that bodes well for them. Just 1 of their last 7 on a Tuesday they've lost. What can they do tonight? And Leicester manager Brendan Rodgers has beaten 33 of the 34 teams he's faced in the Premier League as a manager, with the only exception being Chelsea. He's won this in each of his 11 top-flight meetings with the Blues. He's drawn 7, lost 4. So Chelsea, the only team out of the 34 he's faced that he's not beaten. Can he complete the set tonight of having beaten every team he's faced? You'd have to say they're probably favourites, but Chelsea have got quality on that pitch starting today. When you look at the likes of Christian Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi is a danger man. Tammy Abraham can score a goal. Mason Mount has been possibly a shining light, to be honest, in the last, in the last season or two, to be honest, but certainly in the last few weeks as well, when it hasn't gone Chelsea's way entirely. They did obviously win their last game, Chelsea, in the derby, West London derby at Craven Cottage against Fulham. So that was an important win for them. Fulham did have 10 men, but have been on a decent bit of form for them, so it was important that they that Chelsea got that win, and they did. But they need to back that up really tonight with another victory, and you feel it's going to be a much bigger test for them tonight here at the King Power than it would be at Craven Cottage. So yeah, not too long to kick off now, about 4 or 5 minutes. Yeah, it should be a good one. Looking forward to it. Looks like Leicester lining up in a 4-2-3-1 formation, their kind of usual formation, as I said. We kind of Ndidi and Tielemans a little bit deeper in that midfield, and Albrighton, Maddison, Barnes kind of supporting Vardy. Chelsea, it looks to be a 4-3-3 with Pulisic, Abraham and Hudson-Odoi as that front three, and Mount, Kovacic, Havertz as the midfield three. So obviously there's flexibility there in both sides to be able to change. Depending on how the game goes, I suppose. But yeah, big game in the Premier League. The only one taking place at the moment. The second of the day, as I said, West Ham beat West Brom earlier on. A disappointing result for Big Sam after a great win at Wolves at the weekend. Couldn't follow that up tonight. Great win for Wayne Rooney in the Championship tonight, beating Bournemouth 1-0. Rooney, of course, now the permanent Derby County manager. What a win for them, that is. Another full-time result in the Championship. Also, Reading 3, Coventry 0. And there's a couple of games going on at the moment. Live scores after about half an hour. Rotherham 0, Stoke 1, and Watford 1, Barnsley 0. So also an FA Cup tie as well, which we are streaming live as we speak. So if you would like to see the FA Cup tie listen to the FA Cup tie between Southampton and Shrewsbury Town, then James is bringing you that one on the other channel on RS Media. So if you fancy a bit of FA Cup action, I won't be offended if you jump over to that, but I'm here to bring you Premier League action, Leicester City against Chelsea. We'll run through both lineups one more time as we approach kickoff for the Foxes. In goal, number 1, Schmeichel. Number 27, Castagna. Number 3, Fofana. 6, Evans. 2, Justin. 25, Ndidi. 8, Tielemans. 11, Albrighton. 15, Barnes. 10, Maddison. And 9, Jamie Vardy. On the bench for Leicester, Ward, Pereira, Soyuncu, Thomas, Chowdhury, Amati, Perez, Under, and Iheanacho. And for Chelsea, the visitors. In goal, number 16, Mendy. 24, James. 6, Silva. 2, Rudiger. 21, Chilwell. 29, Havertz. 17, Kovacic. 19, Mount. 20, Hudson-Odoi. 10, Pulisic. Number 9, Tammy Abraham. And on the bench, Kepa, Christensen, Emerson, Zuma, Gilmore, Azpilicueta, Jorginho, Ziyech, and Werner. Those are the squads tonight. Obviously, 9 subs allowed on the bench, but still only 3 can be made. And yeah, I think we're just about ready for this one. Tielemans, cameras on him, key man for Leicester. He's the one that can make things happen. Couple of assists last Saturday against Southampton. He created the most chances in the game with 3, the most opposition half passes. So he's definitely that midfield man that can make something happen for Leicester, along with, of course, James Maddison or Brighton Barnes. There is some attacking talent there for Leicester that can cause problems. This is another stat not good for Chelsea. They've conceded the joint second most away goals in the Premier League since Lampard took charge. 48 goals away from home in the Premier League they've conceded since Frank took the reins, and not good enough really, is it? And again, if they want to be fighting for the big trophies and being near the top of the table, that needs to be sorted. They need to tighten up defensively on the road. certainly have tightened up defensively for a period earlier in the season where they were getting clean sheets and looking a lot more settled, that back four was. But in recent times, just results haven't gone their way, really. And fortunes can turn very quickly in football, and a string of bad results, and suddenly the players, the manager, they feel the pressure. Both sets of players take the knee here at the King Power Stadium. Chelsea will be getting this underway, and they have done, kicking from right to left. Leicester in their traditional all blue home kits. Chelsea in what looks like a very, very pale blue away kits. And yeah, we're off on this one as Justin hooks it away for a Chelsea throw. Reece James, one of the many promising English right backs that we happen to be blessed with. We don't have too many left backs, but in terms of right backs, England have got lots. When you think of Alexander-Arnold, Wan-Bissaka, James, there's lots of others, Justin, of course. Yeah, blessed with a lot of right backs, England, and there's going to be a battle on at the Euros, you feel, to see who claims that number one spot. You have to favour Alexander-Arnold probably, but there's going to be push for that spot. Kieran Trippier as well. So, of course, once he serves his ban, which FIFA have not done anything about, they've kept the ban after it was appealed. I think Atletico Madrid is still going to appeal it. It's going to end up in court or something, that one, but we'll see. Ben Chilwell spent 11 years at Leicester, making 123 appearances. But yeah, now facing the club that he was at for so long. Would be a story if he was to score a goal against them as well. Having, of course, scored against Chelsea, as I said, the last time these two faced in the Premier League back in February of last year. Ball's gone forward there. Pulisic, he was trying to control the ball, couldn't, but Tammy Abraham's picked up the loose pieces, and here is Chilwell. Plays it back to Mason Mount. Cross to Rudiger. His pass out wide, looking for Hudson-Odoi, had far too much weight on it, and it's out for a Leicester throw. A decent first couple of minutes for Chelsea. It was a long ball by Rudiger over the top, and it looked like Christian Pulisic was going to be in one-on-one with Schmeichel, but it was good covering by Castagna. Just did enough. Abraham picked up the loose pieces, but by then the ball had bubbled out wide, and it wasn't a goal-scoring opportunity. But a good little early spell of possession here for Chelsea. Here's Reece James, back to Rudiger. What a story it would be if he was to bag another couple against Leicester, having done so last time. Chilwell seeing a lot of the ball early on against his former club. Pulisic gives it away, and first bit of possession for Leicester here with Albrighton. He's crowded out by the pale blue shirts, and it was brought forward by Pulisic, but then it's intercepted, and forward come Leicester. Already end-to-end stuff here after 3 minutes. Here's Barnes. Great run by Harvey Barnes. Gets the beating of James. Oh, and it was Vardy, I think, almost pounced on the loose ball in the box, but Rudiger just about did enough. The ball goes all the way back to Mendy. A big signing for Chelsea. They desperately needed a goalkeeper, didn't they? Kepa, simply not good enough. The world record price tag for a goalkeeper weighing too heavy on Kepa, didn't it, really, in the end? Too many mistakes in his game. It was a position that Chelsea needed to address, and Mendy has looked a lot more assured, confident, more solid in that Chelsea goal, and there's no doubt he's Lampard's number one, even though he's obviously hasn't got the number one shirt, but I'm sure in time he will do. But yeah, you feel that Kepa's going to have to do something special to somehow get back into this team, and problem that Chelsea have, they want to get rid of him. No way they're going to be able to get that £72 million record fee back, are they? I mean, be lucky to get half with the form that he's been in since he joined. So no doubt they're going to have to take some sort of loss with that transfer. But they took the gamble. They were brave enough to spend the money, and hasn't worked out. Good little 1-2 there between James Maddison and Barnes, I think it was, and then Maddison was brought down. Leicester free kick. It was Maddison surging forward, and he's clipped by Mason Mount just as Maddison's about to play the ball forward. Craig Pawson, the referee for this evening's match, awards the free kick to the Foxes, and it's a chance. Oh, Leicester have taken it quickly, trying to catch Chelsea out, and I think they have, and the ball's gone into the box. It's a deep cross, and Abraham has to just get something on it, chests it out for a corner. Very clever little quick free kick, and Tielemans then played in Harvey Barnes. He swung the ball in left-footed, and Abraham was there at the back post. He just chested it away. It will be a Leicester City corner. Albrighton's over it. The corner goes short now to James Maddison. Back to Albrighton. That's well worked. Albrighton cuts it back. Oh, what a chance that was. And it's hit. Goal! Leicester City take the lead. What a strike that was. Wilfred Ndidi in off the post. Leicester City 1, Chelsea 0. And didn't see that one coming. What a strike that is. The corner was taken short by Albrighton to Maddison. Maddison played it back to Albrighton. It was too easy. It was 2-on-1 out there. Albrighton cut the ball back. It was Barnes then that completely missed his swing, and it fell to Wilfred Ndidi on the edge of the area, left-footed, bang, in off the inside of the left post, curling out away from Mendy, in off the post. No chance. No keeper in the world saves it. What a finish. What a start for the home side. Leicester City 1, Chelsea 0. It's an outside of the boot strike from Wilfred Ndidi with his weak left foot. There's no chance Mendy's getting anywhere near that. What a strike. What a goal. 1-0 Leicester. Not the start that Lampard would have wanted at all. Now, the first good 2 or 3 minutes, Chelsea with possession, didn't create much, but they looked like they'd settled fairly quickly. And then first real attack for Leicester, they win that corner, and it was just too easy. The short corner between Albrighton and Maddison. There was only one Chelsea man out there trying to stop that, so they were always going to get past him. They needed a second man out there to stop that happening. It was 2-on-1 out there, and when Albrighton was able to easily pull it back, I mean, Barnes missed a great opportunity by missing his swing when the ball was pulled back to him. But in the end, it fell perfectly for Ndidi, who, on the volley, left-footed, outside of the boot, in off the post. Perfect placement. As I said, no chance. No keeper in the world saves it, really. And it's, 1-0 Leicester. Forward come Chelsea looking for a quick response. Chilwell tried to lay it off to Pulisic's layoff was too heavy, and it's a Leicester throw-in. Castagna. Back to Kasper Schmeichel. His last appearance, I believe, was his 400th for Leicester. Kasper Schmeichel has been a great servant to the club, of course. Was in goal in that 2015-16 title-winning campaign, the fairy tale season. 34 now, Schmeichel, but still playing at the peak of his powers. Lampard trying to encourage his side, not letting the heads drop after that early blow. Here's Fofana. Great young player with a bright future, Wesley Fofana. Settled in nicely to that Leicester defence. Johnny Evans as well, his form's improved for sure. Looking assured at the back for Leicester, and all around it's hard. It's really hard to you watch this Leicester team play. It's hard to pinpoint a clear weakness in their 11. I think I'm not going to say they're littered with absolute world-class stars, but they've got a lot of quality, and I don't think it's any surprise that they're where they are on the table, third place, and as it stands, going top of the table tonight. If they're with this 3 points, if they were obviously long way to go here, but if they are to win tonight, as I said, they go top. So they're worthy of that. They play good football. Rodgers has got them well drilled, and yeah, they look defensively solid. Great goalkeeper, great spine to the team, and DD in the middle does the work. They've got Tielemans causing problems, and then going forward, they've got the likes of Maddison, Barnes, Vardy, who will cause any team in the world problems when they're on song and linking up like they can. Corner for Leicester here, looking to double their lead. Will they go short again, or will they swing it straight in? It's going to be swung straight in. It's a good delivery by Maddison. Oh, and it was Castagna going for it. I think Abraham was the one that was up well. Or Brighton then looked to flick it past Mount, but couldn't, and Chelsea try and bring it clear. Kovacic is a bit crowded out, but he does well to flick the ball through to Chilwell. Here is Kovacic again, and Chelsea play their way out nicely. 10 minutes on the clock. Here's James. Hudson-Odoi made the run in behind Johnny Evans there, but Reece James took too long, and Hudson-Odoi ended up in an offside position. Here is Ben Chilwell. Early delivery into the box. It was poor though, and Fofana volleys clear. Tielemans now into Maddison. He takes it into his stride, turns and flicks it through to Vardy. He was looking to poke it out wide there to Castagna, but couldn't quite do that. Sorry, Justin, actually, not Castagna. Evans. Pawson gives the free kick for a foul on Harvey Barnes. He's been brilliant the last few weeks, hasn't he, Harvey Barnes? Really, he's really shown his quality, isn't he? I think he'll be knocking on the door, be knocking on Gareth Southgate's door come the Euros if he can sustain this form until June, because at 10 goals in his last 23 appearances, it's been the heart of a lot of Leicester's goals in the last few weeks and the whole season, really. Fantastic player, still young, and yeah, one of the many young attacking talents that England possess, really. So, yeah, no doubt, I think he'll be in and amongst the squad at the Euros. May not necessarily be a starter. I'll have to wait and see. There's only 11 men on the pitch, isn't there? But definitely, on this form, you expect him to play his part, I think, at the Euros. There's a chance there for Leicester, but Tielemans couldn't quite get the pass right in the box, and it rolled out for a goal kick. Leicester, though, all over Chelsea. Not in terms of dominating and creating lots of chances, but the way they're all over them when Chelsea get the ball, pressing high and quick. Yeah, it's been a good start for Rodgers' side, and this is a pleasing stat if you're a Leicester fan. 9 games played for Leicester when scoring first. 9 games, 9 wins. So whenever they've scored first this season, they've gone on to hold that lead and win the game. So not a stat that Chelsea fans want to hear, but if you're a Leicester fan, you know that your team, when they take the lead, when they score the first goal, they do not let it slip. But maybe tonight's the night that they do. Ball played back to Kasper Schmeichel. Fofana. Back to Schmeichel, who then goes long, looking for Castagna. In the end, it's all Brighton coming back and getting his head on the ball, and then Didi and then Tielemans. Bit of head tennis there. Flicking the ball forward, but Chelsea have it again now. Here's Chilwell. Strong challenge there by Castagna. Strong challenge, and yeah, that's what Leicester have been doing so far in this game. They get into those Chelsea players very quickly, not giving them any time on the ball. They're strong with the challenge, working very hard at the moment to try and win the ball back quickly, high up the pitch as well. Very pleasing start for Brendan Rodgers. Chilwell plays it through the legs of Castagna. It's a loose touch though by Abraham, and then he trips and loses the ball. That was a little opportunity for Chelsea to build something there, but Abraham just got his feet muddled up completely. Chelsea do have it again now though. Mount played it into Abraham, who once again couldn't get his touch right and loses out. Some strong challenge in the middle of the pitch happening here. That one was on Maddison, but Leicester still have the ball. Back with Johnny Evans. That's nice. Here comes Castagna. Chance for Leicester. Castagna. James Maddison hits it left-footed, and it comes off the crossbar and out. What a strike with his weak foot. James Maddison found some room, too much room, to be honest. It was good build-up play. Castagna drove forward with the ball. He laid it off to James Maddison. One touch with his left foot out of his feet, and then bang, he struck it left-footed. Mendy was beaten, and it's just too high. It comes off the bar and up and out for a goal kick. But what a strike by James Maddison. That's what you can do with both feet from long range. And yeah, Leicester, Chelsea got to be careful here. Leicester looking very good and could easily double their lead shortly if Chelsea aren't careful. So Chelsea need to just stay in this game at the moment. What a strike that was by James Maddison. Lampard not looking best pleased at the moment. 16 minutes played. Chelsea haven't had a shot or created a chance, really. Leicester are in control. And if Maddison's left foot shot was a couple of inches lower, then that's 2-0. Here they come again down this right-hand side. That's where they're getting the joy. Castagna coming forward, linking up with Albrighton, and the players just inside. Here's Albrighton now, trying to swing a ball in. It's blocked by Chilwell, but hooked in by Tielemans, headed clear. Only as far as Ndidi. Tielemans lays it off to Maddison. Chelsea just managed to stab it clear. It was Reece James that got his foot in first to the ball. Leicester have it again, though. Justin. Oh, and that is a late challenge. Well, it looked like a late challenge, but maybe Reece James just got a bit of the ball first because there's no foul given. And now it's a Chelsea goal kick. I'd like to see that one again. It looked like a crunching challenge by Reece James, but he must have won the ball. See if they show that again, but Chelsea have taken the goal kick short. Rudiger. Havertz lays it off and Reece James whacks it against Ndidi for a Chelsea throw. James throws forward. Only to a Leicester head though. It's another Chelsea throw-in. Volley clear by Rudiger. The ball falls now for Ben Chilwell. Mount. Not a bad idea this from Chelsea. Just string a few passes together, calm themselves down after what's been a poor start and a very energetic start from Leicester. They're just trying to grab a bit of control. This is a decent little sustained bit of possession. Rudiger clips it forward. It's a nice ball to Pulisic. Chilwell. Kovacic, that's a great ball. Hudson-Odoi with space on the right-hand side. He lays it back. Reece James, lofted cross into the area. It's over Castagna and finds Chilwell at the back post. He plays it back. Here's Thiago Silva. Rudiger out wide. James again. Fantastic spell of possession here for Chelsea. Can they carve an opportunity? Kovacic driving forwards at the Leicester defence. It loses out, but the ball falls to Abraham. And then Mount pings it out wide. to Reece James. That's a lovely 1-2, and James is into the area. Reece James hits it, and Schmeichel had to get his gloves in front of that one. That's really good build-up play by Chelsea. Reece James got in behind after a smart 1-2 with Hudson-Odoi, got in behind Harvey Barnes, and just got his head down and smashed it at goal. And Schmeichel, 2 strong fists behind it, punched it up into the air and away for Chelsea's first corner of the game. Corner taken. Headed at goal by Thiago Silva. Saved by Kasper Schmeichel. It was straight at him, but still had to make the save, and he's good reactions. Good corner by Mason Mount, I think it was. Thiago Silva got his head to the ball. Just needed to be a bit more directed into the far corner. It was too close to Schmeichel, who didn't really have to move, just had to stick 2 arms out and save. See it again. It's a good corner, good run by Thiago Silva, who jumps well, gets his head to it. But yeah, Schmeichel does not have to move his feet at all. It just gets 2 strong fists to it and punches it clear. That's Chelsea's first attempt, and it's the one that's on target and give them confidence. Chilwell. That's a nice ball. Havertz. Oh, it was good feet to get around Evans, but he just ran out of space, and Schmeichel pounces on the ball in the box, but Chelsea just starting to get back into it again in the last couple of minutes. That was a smart little ball by Chilwell in behind Fofana, and then, yeah, it's a lot to do for Havertz to try and get round Evans and then get to the ball before Schmeichel there. He just ran out of space. But there's definitely, they can get that pass right, get the delivery right. There's definitely opportunities for Chelsea to cause Leicester problems in this one. Thiago Silva had to get to that ball first, and he did. He found Rose in the process. Leicester throw-in. Castagna, the summer signing, of course, it was kind of signed as Chilwell's replacement, to be honest with you, but he's playing at right back today with James Justin at left back. The 2 at the start of the season were kind of expected to be the other way around. Justin at right back, Castagna at left, and both can play on either side, which just shows their versatility. But yeah, both good players. Both certainly helping this Leicester side succeed at the moment, which they have been doing. Chilwell heads the ball forward there, and it's flicked on by Pulisic, but not to a teammate, only to Fofana. Most goals scored aged 30 plus, the graphic just come up, in Premier League history. Jamie Vardy, 80 goals scored in the Premier League aged 30 plus. He only needs 14 more to have the record to himself of most goals scored by a player aged 30 plus, which is a great stat. As I said, like a fine wine, Jamie Vardy. He seems to have got better every year, and hasn't lost his pace at all, as he would never think that he is the age that he is. I think 34 now, 33 maybe, 34. And still very fit, very fast. And he could probably play for another 5 or 6 years if he wanted to. Definitely probably could play to his 40. We'll have to wait and see whether he does. But yeah, his journey is an inspiring one, really, from how he started, where he came from, to what he's now achieved. Evans plays it out wide to Justin. Barnes looking to turn, but it's a good tackle by Kovacic in the middle there. And here's Kai Havertz. Abraham makes the run. Has he gone a bit early for Offside flag, I think he has. Looked like he did, yeah. Flags up. Abraham just went a tad too early. Leicester playing it quickly here, and that's a great run by... It was a great run by Barnes. It looked like maybe he was held a little bit, but he didn't. It was a great touch by him anyway to initially get away from his man, but he couldn't then latch onto the ball, and in the end, Chelsea win themselves a throw-in, just in line with the edge of their own penalty area. 25 minutes played now. Leicester City 1, Chelsea 0. That great left-footed strike by Ndidi. And what a strike that is by Albrighton. A pile driver from what must be 25 yards out at least, maybe more. It's straight down Mendy's throat, but still Mendy has to jump and get two hands on that to stop. What a strike that is. That might just be dipping in under the crossbar. Fantastic strike. And it'll be another Leicester corner. Leicester's number 10, James Maddison, will swing it in again. In-swinger. Maddison with the ball in. Or Castagna was looking to come in at the back post, but I think it's Kovacic that gets his head to it. Or Brighton. That's good feet. Flicks it into the area. It's headed away by Thiago Silva, and then Mount chests it back to Chilwell. Chilwell loses out, though, in his own area. Oh, and then he recovers well. Castagna was just about to get onto the ball there and either feed the ball across for what could have been an easy tap-in or go for goal himself. It was almost into the 6-yard box, but great recovery, sliding challenge by Chilwell. Had to get it right, otherwise it's a penalty. And he got it perfectly to clear the ball. And it looks to be another Leicester corner. It is. It's going to be Maddison again. It'll be an outswinger this time. Not scored a goal from a corner, Leicester City yet. They're 10th for number of corners taken with 96, but they're bottom of the league in terms of goals scored from corners with 0. So they do not have much luck scoring from corners, Leicester, but that can all change. Here's the goal scorer, Ndidi. Wouldn't have scored many better goals in his career, Wilfred Ndidi. He's not known for his goal scoring, really. But that was a great strike with his weak foot outside of the boot. Just pinpoint perfect accuracy and placement. Maddison looked to find Albrighton, couldn't quite get the pass right, and Thiago Silva deals with it easily. Pulisic was fouled there by Timothy Castagna. America's star man, of course, Christian Pulisic. They've not got the strongest football or soccer for them sides, United States, but Pulisic is a shining light for them, and yeah, the poster boy, if you like, for American football. He's had his moments in a Chelsea shirt. You can't say he's consistently performed, but he's had his injuries as well and stuff like that. So he'll be hoping to have a long, consistent run in the team and find his top form. That's going to be a first yellow card of the evening. Craig Pawson shows it to Kai Havertz there for a pulling Harvey Barnes back there. Clearly just a little tug of his shirt as Barnes raced away with the ball. Definitely a yellow card. Kai Havertz, second booking of the season. Approaching the half an hour mark now. Still 1-0 to the home side. You feel like that's not the last goal of the game there by any means. Brendan Rodgers will be hoping it is, but he'll also want to get that second goal. He'll want to go and push for more and try and make this game a bit more comfortable. Maddison's going to take this deep free kick into the area. It's headed clear by Rudiger and then volleyed further clear out for a throw-in by Pulisic. Good little spell of possession here for Leicester. Here's Barnes now getting in behind his man. He's been a danger again today, Barnes, and it's another corner for Leicester there. Piling up these corners in the first half for Leicester as we just surpassed the half an hour mark, and Harvey Barnes has been a constant danger for Chelsea in this first half an hour. It's a good 1-2 there between him and Justin. Maddison again to take the corner. Can Leicester score their first goal from a corner? They've played it short. And it's in by James, and it's caught easily by Mendy, who then goes for the quick drop kick, like looking to set Pulisic away, and Schmeichel comes almost to the halfway line to deal with that goal kick. Diving header up like a salmon was Kasper Schmeichel to clear that one. Raced off his line quickly to stop any chances of a quick Chelsea counter-attack from that goal kick. And yeah, quick thinking from Schmeichel there. Great sliding challenge by Kovacic on Albrighton to win the ball back for the away side. They have it at the back now with Rudiger. Good play by this from Chelsea. They're coming forward now. Here's Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi with the effort, and he should have done better. He goes to the near post and hits the side netting. That might just be Chelsea's best opportunity of the game so far. He started at the back. Thiago Silva with a pass that split the Leicester midfield. Good little 1-2 between Havertz and Pulisic. Pulisic played it out wide. So much space and room for Hudson-Odoi. He had to surely go across goal with that effort. It's a side-footed attempt, and it just goes near post. He's never going to beat Schmeichel from there, and he had to at least hit the target, but he didn't. A disappointing finish, but a good move from Chelsea, and they basically got in behind. Basically just got in behind Leicester's defence there, and that will please Lampard, but they need to do that a bit more often, because that's their only real time that they've looked a little threatening in the first. We've played 33 minutes now, so Leicester by far have been the more dangerous side and are worthy of their lead. But here come Chelsea again. Havertz did have a chance to play Hudson-Odoi in, but he didn't decide to do so. It's one back. And it's Harvey Barnes once again coming forward. Great work by Barnes, but he goes down. Pawson is having none of it and tells him to get straight back up. No foul. And it's become a little bit end-to-end again now. Chilwell. Good challenge by Ndidi, the goal scorer. That's just what he's in that middle of the park for, to win the balls back. He's not there to score goals like that, but he has. And Vardy's been set clear here. Classic Jamie Vardy. He lobs the goalkeeper. Oh, what a miss. Mendy makes the save, but that is bread and butter for Jamie Vardy. He latched onto a ball in behind the defence. And yes, there was a bit of an angle, but usually you put your money on him scoring that one. And he went for the cheeky lob, and Mendy got his hand enough on the ball, really, to just divert that ball wide. Great opportunity for Leicester to double their lead there. Now there's space for Chelsea to come forwards. Pulisic out wide to Chilwell. Chilwell crosses it in. Great, delicious delivery first time. No one attacked it. Abraham keeps it in. Then it's the ball into the area by Havertz, and it's blocked by Johnny Evans. That's Evans again, who calmly plays forward to Tielemans, and it's clear. Sure, I'll see that. Oh, Schmeichel gets that pass out wide to Castagna, all wrong there. Sure, we'll see that opportunity again now for Jamie Vardy. Oh, it might just be offside, actually. Blushes maybe spared there. It could be offside. I have to see it from a different angle, but yeah, he went for the lob. It's a good save by Mendy. Stays tall, doesn't commit and go down. Stays tall and gets hands to that to divert it wide. So Vardy may have just been offside anyway, but still a great chance. Here's Chilwell. Just the 2 goals at home this season for Vardy. 9 Premier League goals on the road, so definitely been more successful on his travels, but we know he's scored many goals over the years in this stadium, King Power. Could easily have added to his tally there, but still plenty of time. Just about 10 minutes left of this first half. Leicester City 1, Chelsea 0. Lampard won't be too pleased with his side's performance, but you've got to credit Leicester, who have been very good. They haven't been troubled by Chelsea, and going forward, they have looked dangerous. They had that, obviously, apart from the goal, all the clear chances for Leicester, apart from that Vardy lob, have been kind of long shots. There was a thunderbolt by James Maddison with his left foot that come off the crossbar. Then that was that pole driver from Albrighton with his right foot, which had to be tipped over by Mendy. So those are the real efforts. But yeah, Leicester have been in control. Absolutely deserve to be ahead here. Here's Reece James. Now Thiago Silva, who has performed very well in some games, looked very solid, especially considering his age, at least maybe 35, 36 now, to be able to still play Premier League football, to be a decent centre-back at that age is just shows his class, really. Some games he's not been as good, not played every game, and of course with his age, you can't expect him to be absolutely brilliant every game or to even play every game, but definitely a positive addition to Chelsea's squad. In the dressing room, a leader. And yeah, kind of qualities that Chelsea needed, considering they're a relatively young squad. This is nice, neat passing in the middle of the park from Chelsea. And what's the referee saying here? Penalty! It's a penalty to Chelsea here. It was good little neat passing in the middle of the pitch, and the ball was played forward. And it looks to be Johnny Evans that's clipped. Or first is it inside the area? It looks to be Johnny Evans that's clipped Pulisic. Let's see it again. Yes, it's a penalty, I think. I think Pulisic just gets his toe to the ball first, and Evans clips. Or is it in the area, though? That's one thing VAR will look at. First, one, whether it's a penalty in the first place, and 2, is it in the area? I think it is in the area. And I think... I don't know, actually. That is tight. For certain, there's contact. I think Evans does clip Pulisic. I think it's more where it's a penalty. I think they're going to give this. I think they're probably going to give this. No. VAR check complete. Free kick to Chelsea. I think that's the right decision. I think it was so close. But I think Pulisic is just outside the area. I think it's the right call from the officials at Stockley Park, VAR officials. Right on the edge of the area will be a free kick to Chelsea. Still very dangerous for Leicester, but they're glad it's this free kick and not a penalty. That's what VAR's been brought in for, though. The referee wasn't sure he gave the penalty, and then you look at it. VAR being used to perfection there. Few options for Chelsea here. Who's going to take this? Could be Mason Mount, or it could be the left foot of Kai Havertz. Will it be the right of Mount or the left of Havertz? It's going to be Mount, and it's well over the bar. Disappointing effort from the young Englishman. It dips quite quickly, but he just could not get that up and over in time. Maybe a bit too close to the goal, if anything. Let's just have a look at this decision again. Yeah, it's the right one. It is a foul for sure. Evans catches his man, and if that was a few inches forwards, it's a penalty. But no, that is correct decision. Pulisic is not in the area. If his foot was on the line, usually on the line they give it, but I don't think his foot's even on the line there. I think it's just outside. So for me, the correct decision. Ball been chipped forward to Vardy then. He's been caught. But chance for Leicester City to double their lead. And James Maddison does just that. 2-0 to the Foxes. James Maddison with the goal. Leicester have doubled their advantage. It was a long goal kick by Kasper Schmeichel. Zuma headed it, sorry, not Zuma, Rudiger headed it down, and then it was Barnes that just played it forward. Vardy, I think, was caught maybe in the box. Let's see it again. It's Albrighton, sorry, Albrighton. Good little flick. Albrighton with a good ball forward. Vardy was bars just outside the area, but Rudiger missed the ball as well. He was too focused on Vardy rather than the ball, and it falls to James Maddison. Fantastic first-time finish. Past Mendy. Great goal, and it is Leicester City 2, Chelsea 0. Perfect time to score about 5 minutes before half-time. Right after that decision as well, with the not giving Chelsea the penalty. Correct decision, should we say. And it is 2-0 to Leicester. Maddison had far too much time there in the box there, making the run, wasn't tracked. But take nothing away from the finish. The ball coming out, and it's kind of a first time half volley, if you like, really. And he kept it low past Mendy, side of his foot. That's the quality that Maddison possesses. And Leicester, you have to say, are worthy of the 2-goal cushion. I think they've been a better side. Chelsea, not created a clear-cut opportunity, really. Need to do a lot more. And Leicester have been the better side. Free kick there for Chelsea. Space out wide here for Chilwell. He swings it in left-footed, but it's headed away by Fofana. Only to Kovacic. Chelsea must get the next goal to have any chance, really, of coming back into this one. His Mount. James. Thiago Silva. Pulisic out wide. Swung in by Chilwell. Good header clear. Referee stopped play. Abraham's down. He's straight back up there. Chilwell swung the ball in. And yeah, as Fofana headed it clear, I think Abraham was just caught unintentionally. into additional time now. How many additional minutes? 2 additional minutes to this first half. Schmeichel will lunt the goal kick forward. Here's Ndidi. Evans goes all the way back to Schmeichel. Here's Chilwell now. Can Chelsea get a goal back before half-time? His cross is volleyed clear by Fofana. Kovacic are into the last minute now of the 2 added on. Mount. Kovacic again. Rudiger out wide to James. It's good pressing at the front there from Jamie Vardy. Silva chips it out wide to Chilwell. Chelsea need to get the ball forward now if they have a chance of nicking a goal before half-time. James. Kovacic. Pulisic. Couldn't get the ball through. And Tielemans is fouled by Mount, and that should conclude proceedings for this first half. There is the half-time whistle then. A perfect first half for Brendan Rodgers' side. It started so well when Wilfred Ndidi scored the opening goal with a great strike. Left-footed, outside the box, just on 6 minutes that was, outside the box. Outside of his foot as well. Left foot curling away from Mendy, in off the posts to put Leicester 1-0 up. And they were very worthy of that lead, and they were the better side throughout the first half. Chelsea not really creating much at all. One effort on target that I can think of, and that was just a header from a corner, which was straight at Schmeichel. And then just 4 or 5 minutes from half-time, Leicester doubled their advantage shortly after. Chelsea were originally given a penalty, but that was changed to a free kick, rightfully so, on the edge of the area. Literally a minute or so after that, Leicester, ball clipped forward by Albrighton. It went over Vardy and Rudiger, and it fell kindly, perfectly to James Maddison in the box, who finished brilliantly first time past Mendy. So the halftime score at the King Power Stadium is Leicester City 2, Chelsea 0. And the pressure mounts, if you pardon the pun, on Frank Lampard. There's a couple of players on the bench that can maybe make a difference to Chelsea. Looking at Ziyech and Werner, but Werner has struggled so much for form that he's not really the player that's at the moment going to give you loads of confidence to come off the bench and get a goal and get Chelsea back into this one. So I'm not sure whether Frank will make changes just yet. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, more needs to be done. There's been a few. Pulisic has been lively. Mount's been lively. Havertz had a couple of moments where he's been on the ball, but overall, more needs to be done. Abraham's been quiet. Hudson-Odoi has been quiet. Those forward-thinking Chelsea players need to do more in this second half to trouble Leicester and get their side back in the game. As for Leicester, it's much of the same. I think there's more goals there for them. I think Chelsea don't look too secure at the back, and with the talent, with the quality that Leicester have in the team, Albrighton, Tielemans, Ndidi, Barnes, Maddison, Vardy, they can cause problems at any moment. So Yeah, the game's not won yet, Leicester, but if they can go out, start the second half well and get that third goal, I think it's dead and buried, really. Very, very, very unlikely to see Chelsea coming back from 3-0 down. Big next goal is crucial. 2-0 is a funny scoreline. If you get a goal back for 2-1, it can turn very quickly and it's game on. But if you get it, if you get 3-0, it's most 95 times out of 100, you'd say, if not more, it's game over at 3-0. So we'll see. I'll look at some match stats for the first half of this Premier League encounter. Possession-wise, Chelsea have had the possession. We've passed it around at times. They've had long spells of possession without doing much with it at all. Leicester have had 36% of the ball. Chelsea 64%, but it's not about possession. It's about what you do with it. And Leicester have had 5 attempts, 4 on target. Chelsea have had 4 attempts, 2 on target. Leicester have also had 5 corners to Chelsea's 1. And yeah, Leicester have had a couple more dangerous attacks, as they're classed as, than Chelsea. So with the ball, Leicester have just done a lot more. They've had 36% possession, but they've been so much more effective with it. Chelsea, they've passed it about a bit at the back and not enough forward passes, I don't think, not enough intent to try and get in between the lines of Leicester's 4-2-3-1, trying to get a few times they managed to, a couple of times they did actually manage to pass through the lines and beat those Leicester midfielders. Then they were in on goal, and I can remember Hudson-Odoi wasting a chance, hitting the side netting when he should have really gone across goal. Had a bit of space in the box, and yeah, final pass needs be a bit better for Chelsea, and the build up as well. Too many sideways and backwards passing. Leicester have been much more effective with the ball. Early balls forward, neat 1-2s. Here's the first goal again now. It's a clever 1-2 for the free kick to win the corner in the first place. Abraham does his job in chesting it away for a corner. And then, yeah, they have to get out quickly here. Leicester, they really do. Chelsea have to get out quickly here and sense that there could be a 2-1 opportunity. I mean, it's all Brighton taking the corner. Maddison comes over and there's only one Chelsea player tracking the short when really you need 2. Otherwise, what happened can happen. Maddison plays it back to Albrighton, too easy. Albrighton played it back. Barnes completely missed his swing, and then bang, what a strike by Ndidi in off the post. Really was a great finish. And that's for 1-0. But yeah, why a second Chelsea player didn't come out for this short corner and sense that this what happened, I don't know. That's what Lampard would be angry with, I think. Poor organisation defensively, and maybe a bit of luck in the sense that Barnes missed his swing and it fell for Ndidi. But again, no one picking up Barnes on the edge of the area. No one anywhere near him. And then Ndidi as well. They've got acres of space on the edge of the area. So it's the marking, it's the organisation. It's poor. It's poor from Chelsea. Very, very poor. So could this be finally Brendan Rodgers' first victory against Chelsea? As I said, he's beaten 33 of the 34 teams he's faced in the Premier League as a manager. The only team being Chelsea. But at the moment, it's going very, very well, and it would have to take quite a good comeback. Such a tight call for this penalty, isn't it? Looking at it, I think it's just the right decision. And then just after, long goal kick by Schmeichel. Vardy jumps. It comes off Rudiger. Albrighton, good little flick. Then he floats the ball forward. Vardy's barged over by the looks of it, a bit forced to Maddison. It's Reece James that just He's ball watching. He's ball watching. He has no idea where James Maddison is behind him. No idea at all. So that is Reece James's fault there. He's a young player, something he's got to learn, but completely ball watching there and not recognising the danger behind him. And that's what can happen. It falls to a player of Maddison's quality, and it's 2-0. Big team, half-time team talk for Lampard. He's going to have to try and pick his players back up, not let their heads drop. They've got to get the next goal, as I said. As I said, at 2-0, next goal's key. It really is. As it stands, Leicester City will be top of the Premier League table tonight. It may only last... It won't last too long, let's just say. But yeah, they will be top. Manchester City playing tomorrow against Aston Villa. A win would take them back top. But yeah, Leicester City fans can still, at the moment, go to bed tonight with their side top of the table. And that is a nice feeling to have. I enjoyed the 2 or 3 weeks or so, I think it was, that Spurs were top of the table earlier in the season. I knew it wouldn't last, but yeah, it's a funny old season when you look at the table. I mean, West Ham United now, after their back-to-back wins against Burnley and West Brom at home, they're having a great season for their standards, really. Credit to David Moyes, and they're sitting in 7th place at the moment. 32 points, 6 points off the top at the moment, 6 points behind Leicester. What a run this has been for West Ham. Just a strange season at the moment. You can't... There's potentially at least 6 teams that you can't say are not in the title race because they've got the points on the board at the moment and they're right in it. So never really is it this tight and there are this many teams involved near the top of the table at this stage of the season. I mean, this is after tonight. A lot of teams would have played half their games. Well, not a lot of teams, but some teams. Others still a game or 2 or even more behind. If you're Aston Villa, 4 behind. Some teams only play 15 after their COVID-19 outbreak. But yeah, it's a strange season, isn't it, so far? And we're in unprecedented times in the world with coronavirus still having a big impact on our lives. But maybe that's reflected in the season. Maybe there are more away wins, no fans. Maybe we have to make the most of it and embrace this season because it may be something that never happens again in terms of this many teams in the mix at the moment. And yeah, it's what we want to see. It's what we want to see. May not be the highest quality Premier League season, but it could end up being one of the most thrilling title races if there's still this many teams involved. You wouldn't expect there to be. You could expect to see Man City and Liverpool, or Man City, and definitely Man City are favourites for the title now, and they're going to be up there with Liverpool, I think, and I think Spurs possibly, and possibly Man United and Leicester. I think you can't count Leicester out. They're getting the points on the board, and with the team they have, who's to say they can't go all the way? Man City are favourites, but Leicester, I think they're going to be in that title race all the way. Unless they have that drop-off like they did last season where they were firmly in control in the top 4 of qualifying for the Champions League, and then they had a bad enter the season, a bad run of results, and they ended up finishing 5th. So they're, of course, still in the Europa League, and I think they're one of the strongest teams left in the competition. So they wanted to go far in that. But Champions League football will be the main aim, I think, for Brendan Rodgers. Once again, reiterate, if you fancy some FA Cup action, if you think this game's over maybe and you fancy some FA Cup action, on our other stream, we have Southampton against Shrewsbury Town in the FA Cup. Southampton are 1-0 up in that game. Unlundulu with the goal for Southampton, who've made a fair few changes. Shane Long playing there and Watts. Will Prowse still in the side, but the likes of Shea Adams, Kyle Walker-Peters, Ryan Bertrand, they've been rested. No Danny Ings in the squad. The injured might be. But yeah, Southampton, of course, if they win that game, they face Arsenal at home in the 4th round. Taking place, well, the 4th round, of course, begins on Friday with Chorley against Wolverhampton Wanderers. And yeah, Southampton would play Arsenal the early kickoff 12:15 on Saturday if they're to win tonight's game against Shrewsbury Town. About an hour played there, the Saints leading by a 1-0. Players are back out for the second half then. Leicester 2, Chelsea 0. All smiles for the Foxes there. Maddison looking calm and happy with his side situation, and why not? I mean, they've had a good first half. They're in control of the game. And yeah, I can see Leicester getting another goal, to be honest, and killing this game off. Second half's underway then. Run through the teams again. Schmeichel, Castagna, Fofana, Evans, Justin, Ndidi, Tielemans, Maddison, Albrighton, Barnes and Vardy. So no changes at half-time for Leicester City. For Chelsea, Mendy, James, Thiago Silva, Rudiger, Chilwell, Havertz, Kovacic, Mount, Hudson-Odoi, Abraham and Pulisic. So no substitutions for either side at half-time. It's a loose pass by Mason Mount, and Albrighton latches onto it and looking to play the ball forward towards Vardy, but it's blocked. A few comments about us showing the match. Of course, we do not have the rights to show the match, hence just this live commentary. Here's James. Can Chelsea find a goal back? It really would be game on then. Rudiger across to his centre-back partner, Thiago Silva. Rudiger, as I said, 2 goals in this fixture in the Premier League last season. It did finish 2-2, the last Premier League meeting between these two sides. Chelsea will be hoping for that scoreline again. To come from 2-0 down at half-time at Leicester to get a point. It would be a good point in the end, but the moment hard to see. Chelsea nowhere near their best, and Leicester playing quite well and in control. Reece James takes the throw in. Kovacic volleys towards Pulisic, but too much on that volley and it's out for a Leicester goal kick. Short goal kick by Schmeichel to Fofana. Fofana plays it forward, but headed forward by Chilwell, and it's a Leicester throw-in. Ball in by Barnes, volley to clear. Here's Harvey Barnes again. Leicester looking to get a third and kill the game off. Justin. Maddison. Space for Tielemans. He plays it out wide to Albrighton. Called in by Tielemans again. Free header for... Oh! What a miss. What a chance that was for 3-0 Leicester. James Justin. Good build-up play by Leicester. Tielemans out wide to Albrighton. He fed it back. It was then clipped in. So I think Castagna laid it off. It was clipped in by Albrighton. And James Justin has to score, really, free header. He goes for the near post and side netting. Great chance for Leicester to get it off. And now Chelsea up the other end. Tammy Abraham. Great tracking back and block by Wesley Fofana. One of Chelsea's better opportunities. James played it in behind Evans, and great covering by Fofana to make the block there. Chelsea corner. Taken by Mount. Into the area. Header by Abraham. Again, it's straight down the throat of Kasper Schmeichel, who catches it easily. Either side of him, though, and there could have been problems for the Danish number one. Ball chipped forward towards Havertz, headed clear by Evans. Great work by Mount, and here he is again. Mount, Tammy Abraham, good defending, and Leicester are coming clear with the ball. That's good play, and then Kovacic has caught his man there, and he's going to get booked for that. Pawson, no hesitation, pulling out second yellow card of the night. Both for Chelsea players. Havertz was booked in the first half. That's Kovacic for a late one on James Maddison. Yeah, definite yellow. Studs showing just a little bit there as well. Didn't catch Maddison with his studs, but it's certainly a foul. And the yellow card, Kovacic's second booking of the season. Maddison just feeling the effects a little bit of that one. Free kicks fizzed out wide to Castagna. Albrighton's getting held there by Chilwell, and Leicester free kick. Maddison swings in the free kick. It's Evans, I think, that gets his head to the ball, but it loops up in the air and safely into the hands of Benjamin Mendy. Don't think it'll be too long maybe before Frank Lampard makes his first change. Try and put some fresh legs on and try and get a goal back, get back into this game at 2-0. Chelsea are not dead and buried, they're not out of it yet. If Fofana had planted that free header into the net, it may have been curtains for the Londoners, but not the case. And it's a funny scoreline, as I said, 2-0. You get a goal back and you just never know. Here's Kovacic. James. Good delivery, and it's a good header by Fofana. He had to deal with that one. There were a couple of Chelsea shirts waiting for that ball just behind Fofana. Abraham was one of them. Had to get his head on that one and head it away for another Chelsea corner. In-swinger into the area. Oh, and it's... Oh! I think it might come off James there. It just bounces into the hands of Schmeichel. It's a good delivery. Yeah, it just hits Reece James and bounces straight into Kasper Schmeichel there. That's brilliant play by Leicester. First time ball fizzed out wide by James Maddison to James Justin. Justin. Brilliant play. Justin again. Oh, what a goal this would be. Is he onside? Offside flag's up. It's a great goal by Mark Brighton. The offside flag is up. But great play by Leicester. Let's double check that's the correct decision. It looked very much like he was offside. Yeah, it's a good yard off. Brighton tucks it away well with his left foot on the turn. But he's offside. Remains 2-0. Here's Mount. Can he be the man to inject a bit of life into Chelsea here? That's a foul there. Rudiger. Here's Mount. Rudiger back to Thiago Silva. It's a good ball forward. He's done a few of those tonight. Thiago Silva, good passes forward. And only players really that's played a good ball forward for Chelsea and tried to make something happen. There've been a lot of sideways and backwards passing. Good feet by Pulisic. Couldn't quite get the last ball right though, and Leicester can counter quickly like they do. And here's Vardy. He's up against Thiago Silva. He's waiting for support by Vardy, and he is. And he finds Tielemans. Yuri Tielemans with a great chance. Oh, what a stop by Mendy. That was the opportunity to put the game to bed. Chelsea living on the edge here at 3-0. It's surely curtains. And that probably should have scored Tielemans. Great counter by Leicester City. Maddison with a good pass forward to Vardy. Vardy waited for the support. Picked out a great pass to Tielemans. He goes across the goalkeeper. He doesn't do a lot wrong there, but it's a good, strong save with his left foot, Mendy, and makes it 2-0 still. That's well taken by Havertz, and he plays it out wide to Chilwell. Starting to become very end-to-end here. That's a great ball. Space for Reece James on the right-hand side. He then swings a good delivery in, and there's a header down, and Fofana deals with it well. He gets a little head to it and then volleys clear. Won an unbelievable 18 major trophies with Paris Saint-Germain, Thiago Silva. What a career he had at the top French club. But wanted a new challenge, and at his age, why not? And he settled in quite nicely to that Chelsea back four. Of course, he's never going to play fantastically every match and never going to play every match. But as I said earlier on this evening, he's been a great addition to the squad, to the dressing room, with his natural leadership qualities and his experience to help those young players, particularly at the back. 72% possession for Chelsea in this second half, and yet still Leicester have been the more dangerous and had the best chances when they've had the ball. They've countered quickly and they've caused problems with the pace of Barnes, Maddison and Vardy, and they could have had a couple of goals, Leicester, when the free header from Fofana and that chance there for Tielemans. It could be 4-0. Just hit the hour mark here at the King Power Stadium. Half an hour left. Leicester City 2, Chelsea 0. Chelsea need to get a goal back sooner rather than later if they're to have a decent chance of salvaging something from this game. But the more they go for it and try and get bodies forward, the more space there is in behind for the quick counter for Leicester. And if they can get their passing crisp and accurate, and they're going to create more chances to kill this game off and put it to bed. Reece James had to get there first and did. Justin plays it back to Evans. Here's Justin again. Schmeichel chips out wide. Castagna did brilliantly to keep it in. And Leicester come again. The ball looking inside for Maddison, but the one two didn't quite come off. Chelsea maybe need to move the ball a bit quicker. Yeah, it's a bit leisurely passing it around the back and into the midfield and then back again. I think they just need to up the tempo, try and stretch this Leicester team. They're very comfortably sitting in their shape, Leicester, until they get the ball and then they pounce quickly and break quickly and are causing Chelsea problems. Here they are again. It's Fofana with an incredible run forward from central defence. Good burst of energy, but just runs out of room in the end, and it's out for a Chelsea throw-in. We've surpassed the hour mark now, and still no changes for either side. Just about half an hour left. Surely the first change is coming soon for one of these sides. You'd think Chelsea needing it more to try and change something to get back into this game. Leicester are quite comfortably going through this game without any real danger of conceding, to be honest. I can't think of a clear-cut chance Chelsea have had. They've had a couple of headers or flicks from corners that have gone straight at Schmeichel. That one chance with Hudson-Odoi, but that was a half chance where if he'd have got a cross goal, it probably would have been saved anyway, but he missed the target. They've not created a clear opportunity, Chelsea. They've just not played that well today, but you have to praise Leicester more, I think, than criticise Chelsea tonight. Here's Tielemans. Maddison now with space in the middle of the park. Evans. I'm sure maybe the ball bobbled there because he gets his pass out wide horribly wrong. The ball just flew up in the air and over. And Timo Werner is taken off his illuminous yellow bib and his jacket. He could be the first change of the evening. Could be a double change. It could be Werner and Ziyech coming on for Chelsea by lots of things. You have to say it's unsurprising. I don't think Hudson-Odoi has done anything today. Havertz, not done enough really. Pulisic has been lively, but not enough. Abraham up front's not done enough. What a time it would be for Werner to come on and bag a goal or two. Get his side back into this one. He himself desperately needs to score, and his club obviously need the goal as well. Rudiger. Reece James. The ball finds its way through to Havertz. Mount tried to feed it into Pulisic. He was just kind of on his heels there, and Leicester deal with it. Or Brighton back to Schmeichel, who does not get his kick right, but manages to find Vardy in the end, and then Vardy is fouled. Havertz inside to Callum Hudson-Odoi. Kovacic now. Chilwell's making the run. He finds Chilwell. Chilwell with space on the left. He needs to get his delivery right. It's good tracking, though, by Albrighton, forcing Chilwell to cut back rather than put the ball into the danger zone. Very good tracking back there. Every Leicester player's in for the call. Everyone knows what they have to do, knows their role, and all very well drilled going forward and defensively. Hudson-Odoi. Thiago Silva. Kovacic bursting forward. James. Chilwell. Now he's got a bit of time. Cuts back on his weak foot and goes back. That's where he could have opportunity just to swing the ball in there. It's Hudson-Odoi looking to beat his man. It's Justin he has to beat, and he does, and he floats it up, and it's just too near. It's a poor delivery. It's a hopeful one. He's not trying to pick anyone out there. He's just floated it into the air. It needs to be whipped in with a bit more pace. It's an easy catch for Schmeichel. Barnes loses control of that one. It's a Chelsea throw-in, but before that throw-in, the double substitution. First to leave the field is going to be Callum Hudson-Odoi, who will be disappointed with his own performance, I think. He is off and replaced by Hakim Ziyech. And it's Kai Havertz, who also has not done a lot really. And he's been replaced by Timo Werner, the man who is not in form at all, who has struggled, who's been missing big chances, not been anywhere near as prolific as he was for Leipzig last season. So Lampard finally had enough of the 11 that were on the pitch. 2 changes, still got one in his locker. There aren't not much in terms of attacking changes that he could make. There's Jorginho, Billy Gilmore. Apart from that, the rest are defenders. So not much there. Don't really know why Chelsea need 4 defenders on the bench unless they've got injuries. But I know there's 9 subs, but I think usually substitutions are attacking options coming on, so you want more of those options. But there you go. Tielemans. Clever pass to Maddison, who's bursting forwards. This is danger for Chelsea. Maddison looked to try and find Vardy. He didn't get his pass right, and Mendy picks up the loose ball. He just didn't quite get the pass right there, Maddison. Under pressure from Kovacic, tracking back. That's a good ball. Oh, chance now for Chelsea. Tammy Abraham. Oh, the offside flag is up. It looked like Chelsea might have been able to get in behind there. I think it's Pulisic making the run, and he's just gone a bit too early there. Just offside. It's sort of correct call. And Abraham wanted to just burst clear, but yeah, the flag's up. Long kick by Schmeichel towards Barnes. Beaten in the air by James, but it will be a Leicester throw. 20 minutes left. Still Leicester 2, Chelsea 0. Chelsea need the next goal, and they need it soon, really, as the rain falls in Leicester. That's great feet there by Timo Werner, it was. And here's Pulisic. Pulisic did well. Oh, and Castagna gets a great foot in, and not only stops Pulisic in his tracks, but wins his team a goal kick to Christian Pulisic's frustration. Let's have a look at this again. Great feat by Werner to get round Tielemans. He then played in Pulisic, and let's see. I'm not so sure about that decision to give a goal kick. It may have been, but hard to tell. Leicester play their way out. Ndidi. Tielemans. The ball now back with Schmeichel. Rudiger. Across to Thiago Silva. Space out wide now for Ziyech. Reece James is coming on the overlap as well. And Ziyech played it too early and Reece James just wasn't there quick enough. Had to just wait a bit longer. And then James fouls Justin. Not Justin Evans. Good take by Maddison. Fouled by Mount. He just got a bit too close. Last 20 minutes or so, this match has just kind of died down a little bit. It needs maybe a Chelsea goal to spark it to life or something, because at the moment Leicester are comfortably just looking like they're going to see this through, and there's still probably 15 to 20 minutes left, but Chelsea have not really posed much of a threat in the whole game. And this second half, I can't think of anything. A header from a corner, which went straight at Schmeichel, but that's not much of a chance, really. It's just not been good enough for Chelsea going forward, not enough created. But you've got to credit Leicester, have been very organised at the back, and then when they've had the ball, they've just been so much better with it. Caused that back four problems, scored 2 goals, could have had more. Could have had at least 3, maybe 4 or 5 even tonight, if they'd have taken all their chances. So, yeah, it's going to be a double change for Leicester coming now. To just put some fresh legs on and see the game out. James Maddison is going to be the first man to make way for Leicester City, and he's being replaced by Jose Perez. We go back to see his second goal now. Good tuck on the half volley. Just pointing to his name in his celebration, he did reminding people as if we didn't already know. Jose Perez is on, and Michael Brighton is the other man to make way. Ricardo Pereira is on in his place. Here is Perez. He's fouled. Werner's frustrated at the referee, Craig Pawson. Have to agree with my dad's comment there, I think. Lampard hasn't got long left if this form stays like this. There was always going to be pressure with the money they spent in the summer, and for them to now be sitting where they are in the table is not good enough at all. 8th place, and there's teams below them that have games in hand. They're now only 2 points above Arsenal, Chelsea are. And Arsenal, a few weeks ago, were in a relegation battle themselves, it seems. So that's how quickly it can change. And yeah, if they're not careful, they'll drop into the bottom half, Chelsea. So there are problems, of course. It's never easy for new signings to settle straight in. But when you spend that money, you kind of have to deliver results straight away, and that's not been the case. His Brendan Rodgers record, as I've mentioned a few times tonight, his record against Chelsea as a manager, not good. 15 games in total against Chelsea as a manager. 8 draws, 7 defeats, I think it was. Never beaten Chelsea. The only Premier League team out of 34 he's faced to not beat, but it's looking increasingly likely that it's going to be the full set for Rodgers now. All 34 that he's faced he would have beaten. Would take some comeback now. Leicester looking to try and kill it off again with Perez, but can't squeeze the ball through, and Chelsea come away with it. But then they're not done enough with it on the ball. I have to be critical of Chelsea tonight. That's not just because I'm a Spurs fan and I enjoy being critical of them, because I do, obviously, but they need to do more. They need to do more. Werner thinks he's been caught there, but no foul given, and now he's straight back up. So that was a good bit of play acting there from Timo Werner. Reece James bringing it forward now. Can Chelsea create some sort of chance? They've not really had a clear chance. In the second half, they've passed it about at times. They've been a bit void of ideas, but they've just come up against a better side. I think Lampard and his players even are going to have to hold their hands up. They can be critical of themselves, but also you have to just say Leicester at the moment are a better football team than we are, and they are. They're a better side than Chelsea. The table doesn't lie, and Leicester have got I don't want to say better squad, because you look at the attacking talent that Chelsea do have. There's depth there, but they're just not performing at the moment. Not performing. Maybe Lampard doesn't know his best team, really, does he? Chopping and changing players, probably doesn't know his best formation. He just needs to find a settled team, a settled system, and start getting results. At the moment, it's not happening for him. And it's an unforgiving business, football management. You don't get as much time as a lot of other jobs. Chance for Leicester to kill it off now. Ball through to Jamie Vardy. Oh, and Vardy just didn't quite get his touch right at the end. That really was to kill it off. Chelsea still now with a glimmer of hope at 2 down, but that was the chance. Vardy, classic Vardy once again. Ball forward. Vardy makes the run. Is he onside? Well onside, and he gets in between the 2 centre halves in behind. And now I see what he's trying to do. Just trying to cut it back to beat the slide tackle of Rudiger, and it did beat Rudiger, but the touch was wrong and it just fell into the arms of Mendy. Forward comes Reece James now. Werner, well cut out by Fofana. What a good young player he is. Perez now with space on the left. As Chelsea begin to commit more players forward, there will be more gaps for Leicester to kill it off. They look a bit leggy, some of those Chelsea players as well now. Going to be a Leicester corner. Tielemans takes the corner. Headed clear. I think it was Kovacic that got his head to it. Headed back into the area by Pereira. Perez now. Good player, Jose Perez. Just shows you the depth that Leicester have themselves. Some of those Chelsea players just cutting frustrated figures out there now. Just not been their night at all. They've not got anything going. As I said, not created a clear chance. They've been out fault, really. They might have had the possession, but they've really done little with it. There's not many attempts on target from Chelsea. Foul there. It's going to be a chance for Leicester to swing it in and get a third goal. More Premier League action coming this week. Man City Villa tomorrow and Fulham against Man United, and then Liverpool Burnley on Thursday night. There is also a game on Saturday. The rearranged fixture, Aston Villa against Newcastle on Saturday night. But of course, this weekend is FA Cup fourth round weekend. Nothing comes of that delivery. Harvey Barnes will pick up the loose pieces. It's good feet from him, but then he loses out. Good challenge by Abraham. Ziyech is trying to get it clear, and that's poor clearance by Rudiger. Evans. Flicked by Justin, didn't come off. Kovacic wins a throw-in. I've just seen here the Newport goalkeeper, Tom King, has scored. The Newport goalkeeper, Tom King, has scored from his own goal kick against Cheltenham as the ball flew over the opposition goalkeeper. So a goalkeeper has scored. First yellow of the game for a Leicester City player, and it's Wesley Fofana. It was a good run there by Pulisic, and Fofana just left a trailing left leg there and tripped him up. The third booking of the game and the first for Leicester. Yeah, the mighty Spurs on Monday night away at Wycombe Wanderers. Of course, the big Adebayo Akinfenwa. Big, always been known really as the world's strongest footballer, the forward for Wycombe. So he may be pitting his wits against some of the Spurs defenders who may have their work cut out against him. He can't do a lot else, Akinfenwa, but he's very strong and he can cause problems and does score goals, always has scored goals at lower league. Going to be a free kick taken by Ziyech for Chelsea. Good delivery. Goal. Goal back for Chelsea. And look who it is. It's Timo Werner. Oh, the flag's up. The flag is up. Oh, I think he is just. VAR will look at it. Werner stuck a leg out. Good finish by Werner. It's just the goal he needed. Yeah, he's offside. No doubt about that one now. No doubt whatsoever. I don't even know why they're zooming in and drawing these lines. You can see it from the naked eye when you watch it back. No need for the lines. Still drawing lines. Now the decision's made. Just the goal that Timo Werner and Chelsea needed to get back into the game, but it just shows that things are not going his way at the moment, Werner, and they're not going Chelsea's way tonight. Doesn't look happy, does he, Lampard? Arms crossed. Piercing eyes. Here's James. Can Chelsea try and score a goal that counts and get themselves back into the game? Perez intercepts well there, and then great play to head it past Rudiger and then end up winning a throw-in. final change for Leicester. Kelechi Iheanacho has come on to see the game out now for Leicester. Really, they have no real reason to get a third goal. They've been in no real danger of conceding, let's be honest, apart from that offside goal, which very, very much was offside. But yeah, Iheanacho's on now. Jamie Vardy, the one that made way. Here's Castagna. Tielemans. Leicester City are going top of the Premier League tonight. That's a good 1-2. We'll look for the cutback, but Mount just got a foot to it and managed to get it clear. Here's Evans. Justin. Great play by Justin, and then he's fouled by Hakim Ziyech. Again, bit of frustration there. Good play by Justin. Great young English player who, as well, you never know, could play his part in the Euros, could be in the squad. Yellow card for Ziyech. His third of the season. Tielemans is over the free kick. Nothing comes of it. Will be a Leicester throw though, and the clock ticks now. We're about to find out. Good point there, Leicester. I'd like to know how many different teams have been top of the table this season. I'm not even sure Man City have been top at any point this season. But definitely Leicester have been top, Man United have been top, Liverpool have been top, Spurs have been top, Everton were top at the start. Yeah, there's been at least 5 or 6 teams so far, different teams top, which is, again, something that doesn't usually happen. I guess it's something that we should embrace and enjoy. I think it'd be quite fun to have come April, May, and there's still 4 or 5 teams that could mathematically still win the league. That'd be interesting. It's just the 3 additional minutes now. We've almost played one of those 3. Looks like another clean sheet for Leicester. That's good for my fantasy football points as well. I've got Schmeichel and Justin in there, so more clean sheets for them. As it stands, unless Chelsea can get a consolation goal in the next 2 minutes. Here's Mount, who's huffed and puffed a bit, but really hasn't been able to get anything going, which has just been the story for Chelsea tonight. Here's Ziyech. Early ball, it's headed away by Evans. Leicester will want to preserve that clean sheet. Just over a minute to go in this game. Here's Kovacic. Oh, chance. Ziyech. Ziyech's effort spilled. Oh, it looked like Schmeichel was about to spill it, but he just grabbed the ball and pulled it back into his body. And that probably should be that. Here come Leicester. Can they nick one more goal? Perez. Not a great ball, but it finds Barnes. Just a Case of keep ball now for the Foxes. Tielemans. Oh, Justin could be in for a third here. It's good defensive work by Ziyech back there to stop a potential third goal. Oh, what a challenge that is by Johnny Evans as Werner was racing through. Great challenge, and that should be that. Referee looks at his watch, Craig Pawson. And there is the full-time whistle. A great night at the office for Leicester City. The Foxes are top of the table tonight. Brendan Rodgers gets his first ever victory over Chelsea. He's now beaten all 34 teams that he's faced as a manager in the Premier League. It was comfortable from start to finish, really. On 6 minutes, they took the lead. Good short corner, and the ball was cut back. Barnes missed his swing, and then what a volley. Left foot outside of the boot from Wilfred Ndidi, curled away from Mendy, in off the post. There was no chance for the goalkeeper to put them in the lead. Chelsea didn't really get anything going. They were given a penalty on about 40 minutes, but after VAR looked at it, they were then given a free kick because it was just outside the area, so the right call was made there. And then shortly after that, bit of a sucker punch for Chelsea. Leicester doubled their lead. A clipped ball forward by Albrighton. The ball went over Vardy and Rudiger, who were battling for it, and it fell perfectly in the box for James Maddison, who first time on the half volley, side-footed it nicely past Mendy. Second half, Leicester had their chances to really kill the game off and extend their lead. They didn't take them, but in the end, that means nothing. Chelsea did have a goal ruled out towards the end, rightfully so, for offside. A much-needed goal. It would have been for Werner, but not to be. So the full-time score here at the King Power Stadium, it is Leicester City 2, Chelsea 0. Leicester are top of the table tonight. 19 games played, 38 points, one ahead of Man United. Man United do have that game in hand. Chelsea now in 8th place, played 19, 29 points. They now find themselves 3 points below West Ham, having played the same games. They're 3 behind Everton, having played 2 games more. They're 4 behind Spurs, having played 1 game more. And then there's the likes of Southampton, who are on the same points as them, but have got a game in hand. Arsenal have played the same games, but only 2 points behind. It's not looking good for Chelsea. They desperately need to run a string of results together to try and get themselves back to where they should be, really, with the money they've spent. West Brom were defeated earlier, 2-1 by West Ham. So West Ham, as I said, up to 7th. West Brom remain in 19th. They're on 11 points, 5 from safety, but the teams above them have got games in hand. So it's still a tough ask for Big Sam's men. They couldn't follow up that great away win at Wolves at the weekend with a victory at the London Stadium tonight. They lost 2-1. And it wasn't to be. We have a quick look at the match stats. 6 shots on target for Leicester to Chelsea's 5, but a lot of Chelsea's were not really clear chances. They didn't create much at all. Chelsea did have 66% possession, but as I said, didn't really do enough with the ball. Too many sideways and backwards passing. Not enough penetration, and that Leicester defence didn't penetrate them enough at all. And Leicester just did much more dangerous when they had the ball. It looked like they were going to go forward and potentially score every attack. And yeah, just not good enough for Chelsea. 6 corners for Leicester to Chelsea's 3. And yeah, a great win for the Foxes. Pressure on Lampard. A couple more games maybe. If they go on to lose a few more, he may be out the door, really. Abramovich, we know in his past, is not one to be shy of sacking managers, especially, as I said, after all the money they spent in the summer. Roman Abramovich would have been expecting so much more than what his team is doing at the moment and where they are on the table. I mean, if Chelsea don't finish in the top 4, it's a bad season for them, considering the money they've spent. So, yeah, at the moment, sitting in 9th place after 19 games, it really is not good at all. So, work to do for Lampard and his players to try and turn this one around. But it's another great night for the Foxes as it's finished Leicester City 2, Chelsea 0. Thank you very much for listening and watching this live stream of the match on RS Media. I'm sure we'll be back later in the week, probably for FA Cup action. We'll be back soon, I'm sure. But yeah, thank you very much for listening. And I'll see you next time.